Justine, Kristen here at the Barnes & Noble in Glendale, California. It's so exciting because later today, Sofia Carson, Cameron Boyce, and the author Melissa de la Cruz are coming because we're going to talk Return to the Isle of the Lost, the Descendants novel, which is the sequel to The Isle of the Lost. Let's go check it out.
I want to introduce our amazing guests from Descendants. First of all, Cameron Boyce. Our next special guest, who is Sofia Carson. So we are going to read from a couple of the first chapters of Return to the Isle of the Lost.
This is an excerpt from Evie's first chapter. Since I aspire to be the fairest of them all, I know I don't need to advertise the fact by wearing the word fairest emblazoned all over my t-shirts, but it doesn't hurt. I was seated at my desk in mine and Mel's bedroom that afternoon, in front of our matching poster beds and frilly pink curtains that Mel so despises. The wood-paneled walls are decorated with the smiling portraits of Oredon's past princesses, as if to remind me of my goals. I brushed my long dark tresses until my blue highlights shone and pursed my lips, checking my reflection in my iPhone's mirror. I tried out a few poses for Insta Royal, the latest lifestyle envy inducer that was a big hit with the Oredon set. It was all about showing off the newest and hippest fashions in glass slippers, glass mules with puffy bows were all the rage, and the plush interiors of private carriages, plum satin cushions sewn by Cinderella's hard-working mice were the most popular upgrade. Even though I'd only signed up a few weeks ago, I already had a lot of subjects and enjoyed collecting their bows. I much prefer Insta Royal to Zapchat, its grungier counterpart, which was all about sharing glimpses of Oredon's less than perfect side. Photos of the tourney team chugging pumpkin juice, for instance, or embarrassing pictures of princesses kissing frogs. And not the type of prince that turned into handsome princes like Prince Naveen either. I checked the comments on my photos to see if there were any new ones. In Oredon, the compliments were always plentiful and kind. Oh, there was a new one. On an old photo I'd posted of the four of us standing together and facing down Maleficent during the attack at the coronation. This was the moment when we had defeated the evil fairy with the power of good.
Yeah.
It had run in the Oredon Times, and it was one of my absolute favorite pictures, because it shows that even if we are from the Isle of the Lost, we're just as good and just as courageous as the princes and princesses we go to school with. And that during Oredon's darkest hour, it was the four villain kids who had been able to keep everyone safe. Yeah.
That's right.
I clicked to the new comment and read it eagerly. But to my surprise, it wasn't very nice at all. And it had been posted by a user that I didn't follow. It said, "There's no place for you in Oredon. Go back where you belong. Return to the Isle of the Lost at once, before the young moon shows its face." Ouch, that was rude and weird. Who would send us this? I guess you'll have to read the book to find out.
This is an excerpt from the first Carlos chapter. Back in Dragon Hall, it had been school policy that the library, otherwise known as Anthonyum of Evil, was forbidden to the average student. Of course, I'm not the average student. But on the Isle of the Lost, knowledge was hoarded like stolen gold and plundered treasure, and was equally hard to come by. To my surprise, at Oredon Prep, the library and its abundant resources was free and open to all. After school, I could usually be found in the library, admiring the leather-bound books on every subject, from How to Keep Yourself Busy for 16 Years Alone by Rapunzel, to Genie's Blue Planet travel guides, See the World in 3 Wishes. Today, however, I wasn't at the library, but holed up in the room I share with Jay, seated on my comfortable bed with the blue plaid comforter around my shoulders as I stared at his laptop, ignoring the large screen television and its many video games. The matching blue plaid curtains were drawn shut. As it turned out, like Mal, I prefer to work in a dark room. I'd been there all afternoon, so lost in research that I'd even missed attorney practice. This time, I wasn't merely curious, though, I was furious. Earlier that day, I'd received a rather upsetting email. The message, like most anonymous messages, was mean-spirited, telling me to go back where I came from and return to the Isle of the Lost by moonset. While the email itself had been annoying and really irritated me to no end, it really irritated me to no end that I hadn't cracked the email sender's true identity yet. I figure I'm smarter than the average troll, right? But the only progress I'd made was to unmask the server that had routed the email, and so far I hadn't been able to hack through its security defenses. Dalmatians, I said. Frustrated enough to use my mother's favorite curse. Sorry, dude, I said, apologizing to the dog on my lap. Dude whimpered and I scratched him behind his ears. Hold for the aw. Aww. Suddenly, there was a loud knocking on my door, and Mal and Evie entered my room. Turned out, they had gotten weird anonymous emails too. We think the messages might be from our parents, Evie said. You want to say that?
Carlos, we think the messages might be from our parents.
What? Why? I twisted around, suddenly seized with the fear that my mother, Cruella DeVille, with her wild hair and trademark screech, was right behind me. Because, while Maleficent might be able to turn into a dragon, Cruella is a dragon. But I have to be brave for dude. Dalmatians.
For more, go to JustineMagazine.com, follow us on social at Justine Magazine, and be sure to read Return to the Isle of the Lost. I got my book signed, did you?